I was introduced to DCI through my parents. The biggest thing was they met while they were still marching. They marched in the Blue Devils in the early 90s from 93 all the way till 1997. After 97, my dad had aged out, but my mom still had an extra year, but things happened and here I am. So DCI, the easiest way I can describe this, it's a competitive league. It's an organization that organizes events for all these organizations like the Blue Devils, the Santa Clara Vanguard, the Mandarins, Cadets of Bergen County, Cavaliers. They are in charge of making sure that show venues happen, and they are the ones that end up scoring the cores, and they're the ones that will decide placement. So the way it works is that you have all these separate organizations. They're going to be in XYZ location. What DCI is responsible for is that they are a representation of like the founding fathers of it, and they also help make all these shows happen, and they help make music events for non-DCI events, because some high school band circuits will have sponsorships from DCI, or they'll have representatives from other corps sponsoring the show. My experience in the Blue Devils organization only lasted 6 years. I went from 2012 all the way until 2017, and 2017 was the year I graduated high school, so it was kind of like my last hoorah to go before I went on and joined the workforce and started to figure out what being an adult was like. It was definitely a very intense experience, because in the C Corps, we're all 12 to 15-year-olds, and we're just learning how to pick up sticks, and we're just learning how to do it. Not to say that they were babying us, but they're encouraging us because we're younger. And it was awesome just to stand there with a bunch of other guys who love to drum as much as you do, and we all eventually want to get to a high enough level where we could go on to bigger and better ensembles or bigger, better things outside of the drum corps activity. Going up to the B Corps, which is the high school age, I made that ensemble when I was 16 years old. And the vibe changes. Instead of it being a more encouraging environment, it is a more you are expected to be good, and if you are not pulling your weight, then you're easily replaced. It's unfortunately one of those things where it's a very cutthroat activity. Like, the drummers themselves, they're nice, but when it's time to work, it's time to work. And we were always a little bit on the more hardcore side when it came to at least drumming. In terms of learning the most, it was always the situations where we were having rough days. Being in the drum line, every day is a rough day. Even when you think it's going to be a good day, you know something's coming. One of the biggest things that a lot of corps people have going for them when they transition to regular life is that corps teaches you a lot of self-accountability, making deadlines on your own, and making sure that you hit those deadlines. Because when you're on tour, everything is done by the minute, and in terms of translating that to a normal life, it's difficult to really say how each thing will translate to the next thing, because life's unpredictable and the activity is unpredictable. But what DCI teaches you to do is that it teaches you how to be receptive to those changes, because things can change just like that. When you're on tour, no one else is taking care of you except yourself. No one has to help you. As a 16 through 18-year-old doing it, you get a real taste of what living on your own's like and what the world's really like without mom and dad around.